What is up everyone, it's TK and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you this exact dragon strategy that's been working for me really nice. Now guys, I'm gonna be honest with you in this video and give you all the tips and tricks I know, but this strategy may not be the best strategy, but it's good for those who are looking for an air attack. So let's dive in and see this video. Here we are on the first attack and I have this layout for you. Now you all know this is the type of base you're seeing in Legends League quite a lot because it's kind of becoming the meta. Now these bases are mainly, so you can see like the way they trick you with the spitters and then the sweeper pointing at each other. So kind of, I would say in a way that you either have to go through two sweepers or you have to go through two spitters. So what I'm going in this attack is kind of getting a funnel from a very easier side. What I mean by that is that this is very cool and sweet to dive into the base from one of these ricochet cannons on the corners of the base. And now you can see once you have more spells and we are running the haste vial, you're gonna see what I'm doing here to redirect the RC into the town hall, raging her up. Now I actually misplaced the rage slightly because RC is gonna go a bit to the right, and that is the problem with having to early rage basically. So we are actually not using it at all. You can use the rage with the RC, you can use the rage with the dragons, but this is where you leave the RC alone. She has the Phoenix, she's gonna come back, try to get more and try to maybe even finish an air hero as in this attack. Now I'm gonna go in with that giant arrow to get both of those air defenses, and in this attack I chose to go into two sweepers, but that means we're going behind sweepers and we don't have to necessarily kind of make sure we pop a very decent queen ability with the giant arrow. So all I did was to get the backend air defenses, and if you notice, there's not much left on the backend that can actually hurt the dragons. That is one of the main things. Now, one thing I want to make sure I tell you is that always keep one loon and one dragon, always, because if you notice, if I drop one loon here and the dragon, they would have gotten this entire side all the way to the spitter itself. That is the power of having to keep those certain troops. And now the main thing about these attacks are the queen and the extra like the siege barracks and the wizards that are going to funnel these outer layers or the first layers for your dragons to stay in the base. One of the things I added to this army was the headhunter. It's really good whenever there's enemy king or minion prince, and I'm sure the clan castle is either down or is fully pulled, so I don't pull the clan castle with my headhunter once the headhunter kills the enemy hero. As I said, this attack you're gonna see like if I had only one loon and a dragon, they would have gotten this entire side. So it's not going to be close like, you know, it usually sometimes becomes. But we do have the super minions to clear that expo. Even if they didn't, we have the queen to clear it because she can reach it. And obviously the rest of the attack the queen can reach. But notice we have a little wall breaker. So if certain things are remaining at the end, you can always wall break your queen into the base and try to get the value. I know this attack is becoming a lot closer, and as you can see, if only we had some cleanup, there wouldn't be a backend left like this. But that is how the strategy works in general. Let's move on to the next attack, and I'm gonna show you some certain things that you may have not seen with the dragons, but it's really good to know about them in case you're not doing it in your own attacks. Now I've also kind of switched strategies this season a lot. Now I'm in 5,900 fixed on reset, and it's really tough to find a good strategy that I can actually like and enjoy and actually triple a lot with it. There's strategies that I tripled the first day a lot and I'm like, okay, this is my strategy now. And then the next day I'm like failing like 2-3 times and I'm like, hold on, this might not be it. So let's move on and go to the next attack. On to the next base, I do have a double rage setup. So last one we saw a core town hall but with double poison. This time around we're gonna see some double rage. So what I wanted to do was to go from, of course, a bit side angle to dive into one of the rages. And doesn't matter which one it is exactly, but because of that Tesla, my RC is going a bit shopping. She's going away from the path I wanted her to take. So this may affect the attack. You need to be ready, and that is what I want to explain to you. There is always certain things that could change what you originally planned, and you need to absolutely be ready for it. So you can see the damage we are taking, the RC moving crazy. I need to make sure everything is invisible, because the moment she takes some extra damage, because this is the core, she's gonna actually end up dying with the town hall and like 2 giant bombs. That's it. That's all it takes to fully mess up an attack. Now notice, Once I drop my last invis, this is where I actually start to attack. I'm not waiting for the RC. There is nothing else the RC can do that I can control. She can get whatever she wants with the Phoenix and she can do whatever she wants, but I'm moving with the dragons already. So I drop the minion to go clear the right side. Of course, I think some of the dragons on this attack actually do end up going to the right. I'm not sure, but you can see how the funnel is set. Now, of course, the minion prince will end up going for the town hall. That is the main thing, and it's always important. The warden, unfortunately, got pulled by other dragons, so yeah, we're not gonna have good amount of dragons on the town hall. And this is where I want to tell you, do not panic. Sometimes this happens, and the good thing about the pants is that minion prince is actually going to destroy this entire side and keep on moving forward. And of course, we don't have the phoenix with the minion prince, but I think the jelly is good, and I rather have the phoenix with the RC. So Warden ability on the lower side really got us through that entire side, and you can see the dragons that kind of split to the top side is not the biggest deal. You know, we always gonna have dragons everywhere, even if they split. It could be a good thing, but if you see, you can control that split nicely, as in if they're on the town hall, and suddenly you can see, okay, everything's gonna go separated. Pop the warden ability, keep them safe when they're splitting around the base. But this attack is coming to a close and it's really crushing, and you can see how the strategy works on double rage core town hall bases. Even if, guys, we went around the entire core, look at the amount of dragons and super minions we do have, and my own queen, I believe, yes, she's alive right there with 2 or 3 healers. It's crazy how powerful this strategy really is. So if you're looking for an air attack and you have not really been finding your kind of favorite army, I would recommend this one. Next up, let's go back to the meta. We have another core town hall with the sweepers pointing at those fire spitters and double poison. Now, again, kind of it's good to get the RC into the town hall and the core, but if you don't, it's fine. Sometimes the bases are built in a way that you cannot really redirect the RC because there's always going to be a defense about closer to the town hall, than the town hall. When the RC is inside one of these like bigger compartments, there's always going to be a defense closer to the outside. So sometimes the bases could be built really well. Now I'm going to go in with a rage and also RC ability to get through this entire area quickly, so we have more spells to redirect the RC later in the attack. And notice, because of this defenses, the RC is going a bit to the outside, so this already made her path a bit worse. Okay, so RC is gonna go to that builder hut. I think she might come back down to the inferno. Okay, no, she's going up. You can see you always need to be ready with the invisibility drops. Now once she goes up, you can see I'm gonna go forward again with her, and this is where you're gonna see my next invis drop around the town hall area, and invis to redirect the RC into the town hall. Notice we're gonna go in with another invis a bit late because we can take some damage. It's only the town hall, doesn't matter. Now I'm gonna leave the RC. She can come back with the phoenix, damage the town hall, and you're gonna see my queen's giant arrow, whereas she's gonna be the one to finish that town hall off with one sweeper. Simple as that. Now we're gonna dive in with the dragons. Notice I dropped one dragon on this side. You do have 2 rocket loons in this army. Whenever you see an outer air defense like this one or this one that can really annoy you on the back end, or for your cleanup, always go ahead and take it out. You can drop 1 loon and then 2 rocket loons. It's always good to do that, but as I said, I like to have 1 loon left in my army or a dragon just to clean up. This loon that I'm keeping is for basically whatever Tesla pops in a corner. You always need to watch out for those. Minion Prince ability, I usually like to pop it before the Warden, so I can keep the Warden ability for these back ends, which are really toxic. It's really tough to get through it sometimes, and it's good to have the Warden ability because with the healing tome, you're basically invincible and you're healing up even after you pop the Warden ability. So you can get through like 1 Tesla, 2 Tesla. If their dragons are split, they cannot take any damage. So this is the beauty of this strategy, whereas I've seen a lot of people love to take the rage gem with the dragons because sometimes they're slow, but honestly, I just don't think anything is better than that healing tome. It's insane how it works because you can pop it super late, it will bring back your dragon alive, you can get through infernos, you can get through a lot of Teslas and also those scatter shots. It's insane, and obviously, one thing I wish I could have changed is have another air pet with the minion prints. So the jelly for me is not giving that much value. Sometimes when the town hall is in the core, it's really good to drop the minion prints with the army. It will go to the town hall nicely, but with the Phoenix on minion prints, I feel like you get more value, but then I have the RC. Whereas, what pet do you take with the RC? Because you can't take that kind of fox. I'm gonna tell you why if you stayed all the way to the end, because this is a little trick. As in, if you take the fox, you always going to time fill. That's one of the reasons a lot of people not doing attacks with the dragons and the RC walk, long RC walks anymore, because of the time fills. And if you take the fox, it's gonna happen because you're greedy with the way you're dropping your spells and you want to keep the fox alive. You're gonna be distracted, you're gonna lose the time, and it's going to be a time fill. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. The army link, as always, will be down below in the description, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care and peace.